Yeah, I don't think I've played this in Standard ever before. Don't think so. Actually, I'm 100% certain I've not. The Otterral. 4 mana 4 loyalty. Whenever you cast a spell, put a loyalty counter on it. Or non-creature spell, excuse me. Its plus makes a 1/1 with prowess. Its minus draws 3, discards 2, and then its minus 10 usually wins the game, but in Standard, maybe not. I imagine most people probably concede anyways, and don't really have to, like, they're not going to try to get you to win with the bottom storm thing. There's not a ton of crazy storm spells to storm in Standard, but that doesn't really matter. If all of your spells have storm, and you simply just drew 3, you're not really upset with anything. It could be hard to defend this, but it's one of the more popular Standard commanders, so I think it's just fine. I think just minus 10 people concede. I mean, even I concede to the minus 10 sometimes, and I usually always say, you know, make your opponent... usually always, yeah. I always say, make your opponent show it, but it's kind of soft guaranteed. But who knows? Maybe it isn't. I don't know. It's like the Bantamia Ultimate is a soft guarantee. This feels similar enough. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Or we won't see, and I'm wrong about everything. Also, I have 3 draft tokens. I might actually do one of these. I'm going to get really upset, so I probably can't do it on, like, stream, but I kind of want to try this. At least just to convert these draft tokens into 2 gems, because I won't win. I didn't realize I had 3 draft tokens. I don't even know where they came from. I have no idea where they came from, honestly. Yeah, it's fun for you, I'm sure. For me, I hate it. I detest draft. I can't stand losing to cards that I didn't get access to because they just weren't in my packs. And my opponents got better cards. I'm not saying I'm good. I'm not good at it. That doesn't help. I am very bad at it. I didn't expect that card out of this deck. At all, actually. What's the 2? Is it a rampant growth? What do you even do on 2 here? It is a rampant growth. Alright. So, lose the Spell Pierce is the vibe. Vibe check. I'm okay with that. Surely your commander is the next line here. Nope. There's no reason not to block. We're probably just going to get blue-greened and then not be able to play the game after. We'll see. So far, that is in fact the case. There's a lot of merit to minusing, but I don't really care. I didn't come here to do that. BV seems really scary, so... It looks scary. It currently is not actually very scary. Funny enough. Alright. Opponent doesn't care. $10K is absurd? Yeah, that is absurd. That's kind of insane, actually. That's insane. Alright. So... we can't get there no matter what. So I might as well... just... play funny card? I maybe should have kept this specific... well, no, that doesn't matter. That just doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. Alright, so... I didn't get there. Brainlessly plussing. It's Phantom? You don't even keep the cards? Oh, wow. That's crazy. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Oh my goodness. That's actually insane, yeah. Alright, they pick up the ramp spell, which means they probably recast the ramp spell. We might actually get the Ral ultimate. I have to convert it into something that wins the game, though. So... I have to draw... something that does it? Okay, I did. Let's see if they auto-concede. Because I do just pass the turn here. Alright, they did not auto-concede. Means we're going to get blue-greened. My opponent doesn't care at all about what I've just done. Let's get rid of this. Hardly find that. Oh, I have to get rid of 3 cards. Oh. What have I done? You? Sure. What does this do? Don't care. Okay, they're getting more lands, which means there's nothing to cast out of hand. I don't really know. Quite surprising. Vivi probably would have been crazy here, so they did have to remove it. Alright, well, I think at this point, the correct line is to just chill. We just chill until we have critical mass. Because I don't really feel like I have to... Whoa. Alright. That's interesting. I don't have to really do anything? Just chill. I don't have lethal or anything like that. I can slowly get lethal with Burst Lightning. Spell? Okay. My opponent is doing some crazy stuff over there. I don't know what is going on. But I am here for it. So they have some kind of weird loop where they can big town pick up talent over and over. But this doesn't really amount to much. Like in the long run. I also do technically have negate, so it's not like it's unstoppable. But I can't say I'm terribly concerned with the notion of them doing that over and over. So let's play... Nothing? Is this an instant? It is. Alright, we're going to play the game on our opponent's turn here, I think. Yep. Unless I negate now, there's nothing to bounce. I think you can bounce your own stuff, though. Okay, sure. They didn't eat the buried treasure for some reason. Consult the star spaghetti. I would rather that just resolve. I know they're going to get access to their whole... Like, we're both going to see everything. I'd rather just stop, potentially, the funny combo bounce spam over them just drawing 2 cards. Like, the tempo lost, it's just... The cards they find are going to be found... eventually in this game. I'm not fundamentally going to stop that. How many spells did they cast, actually? No, not thinking about it. Just passing. There's always another end step. Okay, target opponent mills half their library. Let's do this. Do I get to choose the mode of the other one? I don't even know. Okay, I do not. Good thing I didn't say artifact. I'm going to negate this, because I don't have a long-form answer to it, and that's why I cast a Braid first, so they can't counter back. Otherwise, they probably could. Alright, they can pick it back up with the this town ain't big enough otter, but then they can't pick up big town. Sure. This hasn't whiffed yet. It's very hard for it to whiff, though, I think. Do I even... No, I think I just go upstairs, right? Yeah, we just go upstairs with this. We're trying to kill our opponent here, so... This is creature, yeah. Oh yeah, I get treasure tokens. That wasn't part of my... can I kick this and kill him? Wait a minute. Are they just dead? Did I just do it? I think I did it. I think we did it. Hey, get schmeed it. Okay. Of course, we're on the draw, as is tradition. Do have the mana rock, though. Ideally, no exactly Storm Chasers. Haven't actually drawn that yet. Let's see, do we have a mana rock? Changes how I play the game. So Instants of Sorcery is a discounted, so I guess we technically do not have a mana rock. So I can play differently. Okay, there's that card again. Whoop-de-doo. So I just play a land and pass, because that's all that makes sense to me. And then cast a bunch of end-step nonsense. They can't cast their commander. It would actually be completely insane if they tried to. Alright, so... negate. And then kill that thing. Or at least try to kill that thing. They can't prowess in response, so... has to be a counter spell, and it has to be worth it. Which would leave you tapped out. Apparently it is worth it. Oh, wait, never mind. They're just over it. Okay. I guess there's just something else happening instead. Oh, there's just nothing happening. Alright. Can I cast my commander? Let's see. Let us see. Do I have to? No, not really. I survive if it gets countered, so, I mean, I might as well try. Alright, it worked. And then this thing... okay. They can play their commander, and then we just have that situation back and forth. We're slightly ahead, though. They might even want to just minus to draw, I don't know. They're probably way more familiar with this than I am. Apparently it doesn't even make sense to go for it. Okay. I can get behind that. I think you move the... do you move it? Okay, yeah. Yeah. It's less damage on Ral. I guess. Yeah, alright. I think at that point, that's about how I expect the mirror to pan out. I got in play first, and at that point it probably isn't productive to even try to cast your own, and then my opponent knows what is possible at this point, so... oh look, it's Vivi again. No way. What is that? That is just a... it's a land. Alright. Interesting. Well, just gonna... pass. Okay, sure. I'm gonna... oh, wait, what's the worst that could happen? That's a very stupid thing to say. Actually, don't answer that. What does this do? Okay. I guess I'll kill the thing that can tap? So they can't tap? Wait, if you had snakeskin... oh, right, you didn't have the mana. Right. I was gonna say, if you had that card, why didn't you, like, do the thing? So... Vivi actually gets a counter. We did it, world first. I actually can put a counter on this stupid card for once. Both of these are good. Both of these are really good. I guess I'll take stock up, because I don't think abrading... That's too late to abrade anyways. Okay, yeah. Too late to abrade anyways. So, Summon Bahamut, I think, is the only thing that is a problem. So, ideally, that is not, in fact, what happens here. I think most other things are not a problem? Is that true? I think that's true. I don't know. We'll find out in 2 seconds. Alright, so play this here. They have protection spells, so I should do it immediately. And then play... This deals 3 damage? Actually, let's float... We should do it this way, because I'm not going to use VV for anything else this turn. I need to leave up mana. And then you discard a non-land card, so I'll discard that and kill my opponent's commander. And I'm sort of ahead. Kind of. Yeah, I should probably leave up this counter spell. I feel like I'm ahead, assuming nothing else happens. They drew a land for the turn? Yeah. Overlord. Alright, I'll counter literally anything. Because that's probably a good idea. Okay. It's a lot of Manifest Dread. So... Probably a bunch of looks at some very annoying things. If I cast this... No, again, I should use VV immediately. Yeah, it's probably a good idea to do that. And then I'll cast this. Take that in that. Plus... Play Buried Treasure? No, I should play this. Harmonizes a ton. Okay, I can't play that then, so we just shock this so they stop doing that. I'm not going to shock a Manifest token. That doesn't feel like a good idea, so I'm not going to do it. It's a gamble to block whatever. There's no knowing what is or is not something. Also, it would have to effectively be be castable for it to matter fundamentally anyways. Looks like that's not the case. Losing my voice. Losing my words. Just making words up as I go. This is a sorcery, right? Yeah. Alright, my opponent conceded. Cool. They conceded so quickly I didn't even notice. Get wrecked. So we get to see these. It was Lumra, a Forest, and a Meteor Golem. They could have full stop flipped the Lumra. I don't know why they didn't. They had the mana. They could have went into attacking. And then if I didn't block it, I would have died. So my opponent just potentially missed lethal. It would have been a gamble block. What on earth is this? Is this the town one? It is. It is the town commander. Okay. Hopefully my opponent doesn't interact with Arcane Signet, because I kind of need it. Okay, they did not. Would have been... Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Put a land from your hand to the battlefield till end of turn, blah, 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 sure. Alright, they killed my commander. Amazing. Cannot cast it next turn. What else does this do? Number of towns you control. I feel like it is a complete lost cause to try to kill that card. Like, it's already gonna just put lands into play, and I don't think any of that's gonna really matter. Didn't expect them to block, honestly. Okay. We play Quick Study? What do I do here? Yeah, we just leave up mana. I don't think there's any other thing to do. And again, killing this at this point feels way too... It just feels futile to me. I mean, honestly, I still could. Because it is a flying threat that will actually... Yeah, alright, we're probably just going to kill it anyways. I missed some damage. But to be fair, I don't know what Charter Course is going to draw. But the problem is, it is itself a threat that can fly and deal damage. And that's definitely not ideal. What is this? 10 lands, it's giant. Otherwise, it's not as giant. Alright. I didn't hit a land. Amazing. Truly amazing. Let's cast this. I did hit a land, just in time to do nothing with it. So I'll play this now. And we just pass? Do I care about this? Whenever this creature or another creature controls your power and enters, look at the top card of the land. Alright, I should probably answer that. Yeah. It's probably a good idea to not have exist. One would argue. Create a 2/2. Other creatures get stuff equal to towns. Alright, so they can eventually have a critical mass of towns, to which I would struggle to amount a sizable defense. Every card they've played is effectively a green ramp spell. In a 5-color deck. Even in Standard, that's the case. Hey, wait a minute, that's not a town. That's not a town. That's a town. So I can recast my commander. And I will, because I want to. I really feel as though minusing, again, is a questionable thing here. My whole hand is decent, and I can actually cast it all, so I think I'm not going to minus. They can cast their commander, and then they can also activate? Oh no, it's a lot of mana to activate. Does not give trample. Okay, I'd be excited to see this actually do something. I've never seen this do anything ever, so... Have we seen every color yet? No, just Sultai. Sultai heavy green, as is tradition. Land River's Rebuke could make me lose. They actually have towns though, so I think it's more than just spelunking in the command zone here. But I would imagine most of my opponent's games, that is all it does. Probably most of the time. Alright, we have ideas here. Not a good sign. I don't like ideas. Straightforward plays. I missed them already. Okay, sure. We lost our tokens, and what did they lose? I wasn't looking. The town greeter, sure. They could have done that enough to grab Yeah, they could have done that for enough to get Rex Sage, or this thing. They chose not to. I'm kind of curious as to why. Let's cast... Yeah. Another... Yeah, that's fine. I'm always plussing here. Should have plussed to start. And stock up. This is an instant. 1, 2, 3. I have 6 mana. No, we don't play Magic right now. We definitely do not play Magic. Oh, the priority is eating graveyards. Sure. My graveyard I don't think matters. Actually, I have 2 cards that eat cards out of graveyards. I don't have any card that interacts with my graveyard in my deck, I don't think. I don't think... yeah, Tolarian Terror is gone at the very least. So. It's funny how this is actually... This comes up sometimes. It's a funny mana dork. I never see the dinosaur part, though. Alright, you gain Survival 2, gain 2 if this is cast from Graveyard, exile it. Then put it on the battlefield as that 4/4 that does quite annoying things. I can't really do anything against this, though. Maybe I can find something. No such luck. We'll take that and cantrip. And yep. Pearl of Wisdom. That's just a Lewis. Okay. What's in the graveyard here? Sand monster man. Let's play Deduce. So there's a good chance I can flip Ral, ultimate it, but that doesn't converge into beating my opponent's board state. Oh, there it was. Come on. Again. Again with the bottom. So annoying. So, stock up. That, and I guess a land? What are we at? 8? So we can do it. It's just a matter of what do we do it with. I missed my Corey Steelcutter window. I'm not upset though. Okay, and then I guess I just shock. Is that dumb? I do arguably have to actually answer this because the trample part of it will actually win the game at some point, so. Alright, we got the thing. We did the thing here. I don't care if this is in play still. And now Storm is 3. Yeah, I mean, we can just sort of hose the board, actually. 1, 2... I feel very little incentive to not kill all of their board, so I will. And this comes back for 5 mana. Is there a land in the graveyard? There probably is, yeah. There's one. They do not have 5 mana. This is a clue token. I've already played a land. My graveyard is all blue cards. Oh, okay, right. They do have the mana because of the mana dork itself. I forgore. And then we can swing. There's almost no universe in which I die, but there's also not really an incentive to swing. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Because Lewis 8 plus, or like 9 plus 7 is a lot of damage. I'll take the attempted chump block here. I think lethal's in hand. We'll see. Oh no, they gain a bunch of life actually from the giant creature if they decide to cast it. I mean, they were just here. They just cast the Scouring Storm Soul, so I mean they're here, right? It would be weird to do that and then concede later, so it's odd. Alright, they figured something out. They copied lands? Okay. They have enough storm. Oh, I can't block it anyways. I'm an idiot. Alright, I missed a bunch of damage. Don't. Not a word, chat. Not a word. Alright, so we're going to lead with... We're going to lead with... that. And then I'm going to... I got to be careful with the red mana, because I don't actually have a ton of red mana. So because of that, we can just cast this. And then I can cast this. And then get a bunch of treasure tokens, which offset the red mana issue. Okay, I think they're dead. Looks like the damage didn't matter. Unless it did, but I'm pretty sure it did. They're like extremely dead, actually. What's the harmonize on that? I have the prowess token. And double red and 4? Why am I thinking about anything? Why am I not just sandbagging? No reason to think about anything. Yep, you're right. Alright, they played really, really slow, but of course they could concede really quickly, because I guess that's how Magic players operate. Alright, you're right. No, they were holding priority before that, though. They were sandbagging, like, way before the Doppelgang window. If it was Doppelgang, I don't fault them for taking forever. I take forever for Doppelgang. That wasn't the issue there. What is this? Hopes... Sure. Arcane Signet. Healer's Hawk. What are you doing? Why are you playing cards? I'm probably not casting my commander next turn. Actually, I find it unlikely to cast it, but I suppose it is possible. Okay, it's actually possible. So we play our commander. I'm sure there's an answer to my commander, like get lost. Otherwise, maybe this keep is a bit reckless. Can pretty decisively survive against said card, though. This is creature? No, it's not. Alright, so decline. Because I will kill that. The word is 2. Yep, word 2 there. Opponent, you literally played a land. You just played a land. I just saw you. What are you talking about? Oh, that's a good sign. Well, that's really annoying, huh? I guess it's actually not that annoying. I can just sort of play around it. Like, maybe I can just play around it. And if I don't get to do that, then so be it. I'd rather not cast 2 spells on that stupid thing. But it's not too late. They've played a land every turn, by the way. Except one, I think. They have drawn all the lands that they need. Maybe that's what I have to do more, is complain that I don't get lands. And that's how you get the lands. Wait, why do I care about this? Thinking. Alright, I've thought. I don't care about this at all. You can have your 20 tokens. I'm probably going to blow up the... Wow, you're just giving me... Why are you giving me the vocalist here? That's ridiculous. That's insane. What are you doing? Okay, they just gave me that. I now only have to do very little for the ill-timed explosion. It no longer has to be 4. I just don't know why they did that. Very strange. So be it. So, should swing first. I don't think my opponent's life total matters. And I don't know what I'm going to draw. So, let's get rid of you. Oh, you have to discard 2. Could just get rid of that, actually. This is for 2. Okay. Well. Boros aggro? Alright. Found it. I'm gonna chart here instead of not charting. That one. Could have gotten rid of Long River's spaghetti as well, honestly. Could have just played this instead. Could have done a whole bunch of random nonsense there. Oh, there's a Spell Pierce? Well, that's unexpected. Oh. Alright. Never mind. Yeah, I mean, it could have been worse. I feel like the draft decision-making... I actually kind of liked it because I was familiar with every card. So the draft isn't that bad. Normally I just don't care about the cards in any one draft. So it's like, whatever, but... that was kind of interesting, at least. I suppose. It's still really slow, though. It's like 20 minutes, you know? I mean, it's not that... It could be worse. It's really not that bad. I'm just trying to make excuses to not play it again. That's what I'm doing. I think that's probably my favorite draft we've had. Like, in terms of just the cards you can, in fact, play. So I think I'm going to cast Stock up here. Lets me swing, and Corey Steelcutter's awkward. I want to land and probably Sleight of Hand. Just more spells and whatnot. This needs 3, right? To make it 2/2. There's a notable difference when I do not have the Mana Rock here, unfortunately. What does this do? Okay. Oh, they didn't swing at me. Huh. Wonder why. Do I trade? I don't think so. Should I? Block, block, swing, block. If I don't trade, I just chump. Yeah, it's fine. Opponent doesn't want to trade. Tragic. Yeah, I think we would have liked to have seen a trade there, so good. You'd find it hard to stream a draft? Oh, well. I think out loud anyways. I'd be just talking to myself. With less swearing, of course. More swearing. Wait, yeah, more swearing. Izzoni? What is going... You don't keep it. What do you... What? Yeah, no, I guess they didn't. Wait, did they? No. No double swing? Oh my goodness, my opponent is all over the place. They're making me all over the place. I'm very confused. Doesn't really matter what order as long as the first one is this. Actually, let me just plus here before I don't. The bad habit of not doing that. And we'll leave up. Think twice, I think. Actually, Sleight of Hand... No. The chance of finding the gate and the chance of it mattering while also finding it, I'm not sold on that. Alright, we actually got a Drake here. That's pretty cool. I will swing with the 2/2, yeah. It's an instant, right? Yeah. What is this? Don't you dare. Don't you touch this card. This is the 4 mana card? The kicker thing? Toxic. Honestly, I would kill this too. But I don't really use it. My opponent doesn't know that, though. It's not like it's useless. I can, in fact, use it when I so desire. It's just, if I cast another spell, we actually could have got 2 Drakes. Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's not going to do anything. I just have never actually used this. Because I'm not leaning heavy into that. It's kind of hard to find a window for it. I think the game is all about trying to kill Ral anyways, so they need, like, bitter noodles or whatever. This is -3? I'm going to be a little careful there. I'm going to punish that. Or save it. I don't think that's necessarily a punish. It's just the only thing that makes sense to do. Alright, yep, they're over it. I don't have, like, any burn in my hand whatsoever, but I think I have 2 stock-ups here. No, I don't. Wait, I already cast it, right? Yeah, never mind. So I have probably opt first. I'm confident we'll find a red source. Interesting. I did not expect them to play it. Spells and abilities can't be countered. Okay. I was not expecting them to cast that. Let's, I guess use the opportunity to just plus them. Does this give trample? Nope. Okay, well, they're going to need more than that, but that is certainly pretty easy to accomplish, I would say. Pass? I have 2 damage. Okay. Hexproof from mono-colored. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. Ridiculous. Okay, so this is hexproof, right? It's 4? It's just so much nonsense. Get rid of that, and I gotta keep the land, so that doesn't look like it's doing anything. Might as well cast this, I guess, you know. So can I beat Vivi? I don't know, I beat all the front-loaded degeneracy, so they don't have a lot of cards in their hand. Surveil 3 if you have no cards. Draw 3. What? Okay, they just draw 3 because they had cards in their hand. Can I cast this? Nope. So, stock up for you in land. And then leave up Consult the Spaghetti Noodles. How am I at my starting life total still? That feels just ridiculous. Demonic Ruckus. Okay, random wizard. Sure. Why are you not casting your commander? Feels a little weird. Land is nice, but I'll just take the resources, I guess. Kill the token. The token does matter, so I'll just not let it exist. Cast Sleight of Hand. I'll take a land. I think I already played one this... No, I did not. Okay. Okie dokie. I think their window for VV has gotten quite small here. Apparently they completely agree with me. Still would have maybe cast it if you had nothing else at all to do. Okay, drawing 3, sure, it's not worth fighting over. Well, I mean, for the early pressure they had, for the early things they did this game, I didn't expect to get this far. Reveal top 5. Put one in your hand, then opponent choose one at the bottom. Sure. Okay, we go back and forth. So, I guess I get rid of that one. That's a really, really weird card I have never seen cast before. It has flashback too. Okay, well, they're doing something that involves critical mass, and I'm here for it. It also apparently doesn't involve VD. I don't think 1 damage matters, so I won't cast or send it. Kaito is not going to get there. I'm not even going to counter Kaito. Okay, they have the uncounterable land now. Is it just for VV? Correct. Alright. They're in. They want it to be at this point, so... start with this. Alright. Get Schmied it. Unbelievable. That early... I mean, this is a completely different game from where it started. This game involved these 2 cards basically soloing me until I drew the sweeper to unsolo myself. Which is crazy. There was 2 games played in this game of Magic, and I can't believe we won the first one. But the second one, they didn't go for VV immediately, which probably makes sense because, like every VV player, including ourselves, because we have it in here, when you play it, it dies instantly, and my opponent didn't think they had the wall of protection to protect it, and they decided that it would make more sense to have critical mass of cards, and they did a very good job at that, actually. They drew half their deck very quickly, playing cards I've never seen before. This one is very weird. I don't think there's a combo here. I keep associating this commander with a combo. I don't know why. No, it just does, like, meh stuff. Again, no mountains. This keeps happening. It's funny. It's actually almost just keepable anyways, and haven't really struggled with getting color screwed. Outright refused to play tap lands. Authority of the Councils, and then they gave up. Alright. What are they playing? It's probably, I'm not gonna lie, a complete nightmare matchup with cards like this that don't do anything. Alright, cool. We take the free ones. That draft took it out of me. I don't know what didn't work here. I think everything in this deck just worked. I can't... Oh, you know what? I don't think Slagstorm did anything. But it could. It is kind of like the Bolt wave. You deal 3 to each player as long as you have more life than them of a bracket of 3. Then they die first, assuming that's your Storm thing. So that is a funny thing about it. I would never play Bolt Wave, but this is effectively doing the same thing. And then it has the sweeper side, which I felt was kind of nice to have, but it never came up ever. So I don't know if the breakpoints of cards that this would kill is just not great, or... Because Pyroclasm doesn't seem like it is very good. And maybe the same goes with this. You can easily dodge Pyroclasm against your own prowess creatures. It's a lot harder with Slagstorm. Like, a lot harder. It doesn't hit this. It doesn't deal damage to Planeswalkers. I don't know. This could have been something else, honestly. Symmetrical damage is just not necessary, and I never needed 3 damage sweepers. I don't know. Whether things were 4/4s all the time, or I had to leave up mana for something else, I don't know. But I'd never cast this card, I don't think. Vivi died every time I cast it, except I think once. Which is not really a surprise. Although, in this deck in particular, I don't just untap with Vivi and immediately win. I don't have a wall of protection spells for it. And it doesn't scale too crazy, but it does still scale enough that it is a huge issue. So it doesn't really surprise me. It is answered every time it was cast. That's the difference between Vivi and Ral. That might be the one notable, sizable, huge difference, is you can't... This doesn't die to Lightning Bolt or creature removal. It still dies to Get Lost in Bitter whatever retreat, but other than that, I mean, Vivi is super, super vulnerable. And because of that vulnerability, that alone causes them to be very different decks. Because if this was a Planeswalker, or just like some kind of weird enchantment, like a god that didn't need devotion, the deck would probably play a lot similar to what Ral is trying to do here, but, you know, you gotta keep this stupid thing alive. And there's not exactly any mocks or anything to do that in Standard. But other than that, just going for the ultimate is enough to make people concede 90% of the time. There was one person who didn't concede, but I think they were ahead when I went to do the thing. I, like, countered my own spell so I could ultimate, and those resources were used in a way in which gave my opponent the advantage in drawing 3 with the -10, and having the emblem didn't pan out to winning. But I think that's still worth it. In hindsight, it wasn't. The spells I just cast randomly to flip this would have probably bought me enough time to flip it safely without exhausting my own resources on my own stuff, like a counterspell. But other than that exact moment, like that one game, they're usually going to concede to this. So you don't really need a bunch of ways to win after you do the thing. It's also not too difficult to win after you do the thing, even if you're not going in on the ultimate for Storm, Burn, Lethal. Like, you're just going to find a way to win the game. It's pretty hard to not win the game, but it is possible to still lose, especially if you've exhausted too many cards already in that given game. But I never really struggled to close the game out if they didn't concede. Right? I mean, there's probably lines that involve just lethal. Well, maybe not with Flick a Coin, because if you hit them for 25, you probably deck out. So this probably isn't it. But if you cast Flick a Coin 12 times, or 20 times, you can eventually just respond to some of them, and then Burst Lightning with, you know, the next spell, because you have all the treasure tokens and stuff, so it's not like you're going to deck out really here with this card. I never felt like there's a reason to, or was a reason to, play a shuffle effect to get the graveyard back in. That didn't seem like it would have. Not only would you have to play that card itself, which is in the way of other cards that are actually doing something, you'd also have to have games where your opponent doesn't exile your graveyard with Ghost Vacuum, which is all over the place, probably because of Ketramos and whatnot. Although, actually, you just help Ketramos, to be honest. So, it's probably just not worth it, and you don't ever want to play any card that is only good if your graveyard has to get shuffled back in to win consistently, or only good after you have a Storm Emblem ultimate thing. If the card doesn't do anything before that that is like good or efficient or something, then you just don't want to play it, right? Slagstorm, if it was just 3 damage to face, then not playing it. Same, like, that's why Bolt Wave is not in here, because it's only good after you do the thing. I mean, you can put a prowess trigger, like it does trigger this, and you get a prowess trigger, but like that's not worth it. Especially if you actually just end up helping your opponent, because all the damage you deal is all essentially in one turn. You could play more prowess Izzet Blitz funny creatures and push some damage. It seems like VV sometimes has that creature pivot. I just don't really... I don't know. I didn't really feel like that was something I needed to do, or... Especially in Standard, where there is a metric boatload of removal. A ton of removal, to the point where it's probably just wrong to play VV. I mean, yeah, I got it one game, and it was very scary that one game, but all the other games, it just sort of died. And honestly, even in the game where it was going crazy, it was susceptible to dying 2 or 3 turns after it was going crazy. You know, it wasn't... It's not immortal or anything like that, even if it generates a bunch of mana. So, yeah, could probably shave even more creatures. I mean, there's not even that many. There's only 3? Yeah, it's like the Malcolm, this thing, and the Drake Hatcher. Could have just got rid of all of those, played something else entirely. This did actually make Drakes, which is the second time it's ever done that for me. I do like this card. It just, again, you just don't have to play creatures if you can help it, especially in a removal-centric format there. Just stranding a bunch of cards in your opponent's hands that only go towards the otter tokens is a feels-good scenario for you. But you do generate otters, and those are creatures, and they might as well kill them if they're the only things they can. So it's not like you're really stranding the removal. It doesn't feel too bad to kill those, especially if they're the only things to kill, right? It's not like it's lights out because you had to waste removal and tokens. But, yeah. This is just a solid commander. It's very scary on turn 3. There might actually be more than just the 3 mana rocks here in Standard. But playing, or having the opportunity to play this in turn 3 is very good. It's just the same as all 4 mana Planeswalkers in Historic Brawl, not Standard, where you play it on turn 3, because it's usually the best thing you could possibly do. Davriel is a huge example. There's a couple others. Koth, Chandra. Even this in Historic Brawl, you could probably play way more of the 2 mana rocks and stuff. You don't have to, and if you don't, you have way more room for more relevant spells that are powerful and whatnot. You're just conceding to the idea that, like, you'll never play at turn 3, but you're playing a slower... You're playing a slower game plan without playing it on turn 3, right? These have the added benefit of triggering prowess, though, so that is kind of cool. You know, it doesn't have to be an instant or sorcery, which kind of surprises me, honestly. But it doesn't, so these do work that way. It doesn't feel bad to cast this after you've cast your commander, at least. But, you know, obviously you would rather it be a card draw spell or something. Divination's a little bit better on turn 5 than Iron Crag as a top deck, one would say. Tap lands, I refuse to play them. I think they're a trap every time I would play them. There's actually not a lot in Standard, and the 2 big ones are these 2. So it's not like you're flooding your deck of these things, but on turn 2 with a mana rock, you don't want to play them, or really any spell that you would like to leave up. You don't want to play these as your turn 2 land. You don't want to play them as your turn 3 land if you have a mana rock, because then you can't play this on turn 3. Or just really anything. It's probably not as bad on turn 3, but definitely not ideal on turn 2. And the best case scenario is it's just the first land for the game. It's turn 1 land, boom, play it. And if you feel like that's the thing you're having happen all the time, congratulations, you can play these. I don't think it's worth it. I got color screwed a couple times, but I think I always managed to find my way out of it. Or I should say it was never the reason the game was decided, was that I only had islands. But, you know, almost nobody goes without these. Like, I see these in every single blue-red deck. All the VVs, all the RALs, everything's just playing these. I just don't agree. I just don't agree with it. But if you have them, go for it. I just really, especially with mana rocks, it's just never feels like being color screwed is a big deal, especially with a ton of card draw too, right? Like opt, sleight of hand. I actually had more of an issue finding lands than finding the right colored lands. I think I was at 23. Yeah, I was at 23. I'm okay with that. The curve is extremely low. Super, super low. It actually got lower since I started. So, yeah, I don't know. I think this is perfectly reasonable. It does feel a little weird to have that many basics. But it's standard, you know. You have time. It's okay. It never really ruined my life. But, you know, take that for what you will. All in all, really cool commander. Is successful in standard. Just as successful. It's probably more successful in standard than historic. Because historic has so many things in it that don't really care about this. By the time you would ultimate it, you've probably won anyways or lost. So I don't know. But that's that. So let me know what you thought about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and maybe I'll do the other 2 drafts on stream or for YouTube, but probably not. Alright, get out of here.